Believe it or not, the NBA season is less than 1 month away, and I believe a debate that has been happening for 5 years at least has finally reached a conclusion, a resolution when it comes to Nikola Jokic, all right? For years now, we have heard these debates of who's the best player in the world. Once upon a time, it was Giannis and Jokic, and then it turned into Embiid and Jokic. Most recently, it was SGA and Jokic. But I think that over the last year and change, this plane has finally sort of landed. And I would point to a recent piece of evidence as to why. Tim Bontemps of ESPN for 7 years now has been doing an annual preseason poll where he reaches out to 20 different coaches, scouts, and executives within the NBA and asks them a litany of questions, okay? Who do you think's going to win the championship? This and that, right? One of the questions is, who is the best player in the world currently? Okay? And again, 20 responses. I couldn't believe it. 19 of the 20 voted Nikola Jokic. 19 of the 20. Guys, you get 20 people in a room in 2025, not 19 aren't agreeing on anything, okay? This is why, like they say, hey, 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this toothpaste, because there's always going to be one that's like, no. 19 of 20, that is resounding, okay? And I think it just speaks to how Jokic is viewed within the league, right? Not by, a producer of a debate show or a talking head. These are people who are polled anonymously, so there's no upside or downside to how they answer. Their identity is not going to be revealed, so they can just tell the truth. 19 of 20. There was one dissenting vote that went to Luka Jokic. SGA, coming off one of the most insane individual seasons of all time, scoring title, regular season MVP, finals MVP, like give him his props and his flowers, and he deserves it. It's an all-time season. But no one actually within the league itself says, yeah, we think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player in the world right now. And I think I could point to two things here in the last year and change that has broken ties, either with fans or people within the league themselves. Because I don't think Jokic gets 19 out of the 20 if this was voted on 2 years ago. But I think that two things have happened in addition to the greatest statistical season of all time, which Jokic put up in the 2024-2025 season, all right? But there was two things outside of his stats. One, the way that he and the Nuggets pushed Oklahoma City to 7 games. And Jamal Murray wasn't the best version of himself, clearly, for several reasons. Aaron Gordon was banged up. Michael Porter Jr. had the shoulder injury. I mean, they had no bench, and still you pushed the future champions to 7 games. So I think in a lot of people's minds that did something. But I think there was something even before that, again, I'll use the phrase like break ties with people. When Nikola Jokic and only 2 other NBA players on Team Serbia pushed Team USA, one of the greatest assembly of talent we have ever seen, top 3, maybe 4 assembled group of talent in the history of the game of basketball, and Jokic is with 2 other NBA players and the rest of his countrymen, and he had Team USA on the ropes, just controlling that game and being the puppet master for Team Serbia. I think for a lot of people that had not been on board, which they already should have been, make no mistake, but a lot of people who still had some reservation or whatever in the back of their mind, the recesses of their mind, were like, holy crap. And there's just nowhere to turn. After you stack up the MVPs, the championship, the finals MVPs, the statistical anomaly that is a walking, talking Nikola Jokic, there's nowhere for it to turn. But I think the last chapter in this story, in this debate, which isn't a debate anymore, 19 of the 20 people within the NBA said, yeah, Jokic is the best guy we got. All right, so I think that was super cool, and the fact that it happened in such a resounding way in that landslide. But I also want to talk, while we're here, about ESPN's top 100 players going into the NBA season. And for those who don't know, I have covered the Denver Nuggets as a credentialed media member since 2017. Once upon a time, at 104.3 The Fan, a heritage station, 3 decades here in Colorado, I launched the first ever podcast at The Fan. It was the Mile High Hoops podcast. So I've been talking Denver Nuggets basketball for the better part of the last decade. I'm really excited about this season. And not that I want to be beholden to some top 100 list as voted by people within the league. I thought it was telling and interesting enough to talk about with you here today. So the first thing that stuck out to me was Jonas Valanciunas making this list, breaking into the top 90 at the 87th best player in the NBA. This is so massive because you know that Jonas Valanciunas is not going to start for the Denver Nuggets. Almost every single member on this list from ESPN is a starter, right? There's 5 starters on every team. There's 30 teams in the NBA. That means there's 150 starters. But Valanciunas to be inside the top 90 as a non-starter in Denver, I think is massive. It represents the best backup center that Nikola Jokic has ever had. Takes some of that burden off Jokic throughout the regular season, which I think is going to be vital. All right. And I'm just super excited to watch the dynamic of Valanciunas, who is a legit pros pro. And the consistency that, I mean, he spent over a decade as a starter. Last season, he came off the bench 60 times when he had come off the bench just 12 times the rest of his career. So he's already adjusted into the role. It's not going to be some massive change or check of an ego. He knows what this assignment is, and he's going to knock it out of the park, I would anticipate. So it's really good to see a six-man type of player be inside the top 90 on this list. Moving forward with the list, Cam Johnson came in at number 67 on this list. I am so excited to watch Cam Johnson play basketball in Denver. A smart player, high IQ, makes the right play, plays hard, coming off careers high in points, field goal percentage, and assist. Career high usage rate as well. He can play with the ball. He can play off the ball. All right, so really excited about this fit. Christian Braun. How about Christian Braun? And by the way, Cam Johnson was not ranked last year. So on this list, inside the top 70 for the first time in his career. Christian Braun, another player who was unranked a year ago, is inside the top 65, coming in at number 62. You love to see it. Career high in points. Christian Braun was about 15 and a half points a game last year, stepping into that starting role for the very first time in the filling the shoes of KCP, and really even bringing it beyond a current day KCP. 5.2 rebounds, that was a career high. 2.5 assists, that was a career high. 1.1 steals per game, that was a career high. Christian Braun is an ascending player. Can't wait to see what he looks like this coming season. Jamal Murray was the only Denver Nugget that took a step back. He was ranked 46th on this list that just came out by ESPN, 46th best player in the NBA. That was down from number 31 a year ago, so a 15-spot drop. But even the year before, it was even a greater drop because following the title season, Jamal Murray was inside the top 20. And then he was in the 30s, and now he's in the late 40s. So let's keep our eye on Jamal Murray for a handful of reasons. And then Aaron Gordon comes in at number 40. All right, he was 49 last year, another jump. What we saw from Aaron Gordon, shooting the basketball from both 3 and free throw percentage, 29% from 3 2 years ago, up to 44% nearly from 3. And then free throws 66% all the way up to 81% year over year. Guys, we've never seen a jump like that in both of those categories for a player as deep into Aaron Gordon's career as he is. We have never seen a jump like that at this stage of a career in NBA history. All right, ESPN's waiting to release the final 10. I fully anticipate Nikola Jokic comes in at number 1. So I'll tell you, man, huge season on deck. But this is the type of depth. This is the type of roster that if you want a big boy credential like that, NBA Finals, this is the type of roster that you have to have. This is the type of roster that the Denver Nuggets do have. So check back with me. I'm going to be talking Nuggets all throughout the basketball season. Again, talking Nuggets basketball for nearly a decade, and I am so looking forward to this season. Guys, make sure you smash that subscribe button. All right, drop me your thoughts in the comments. Would love to interact with you there. Like this video, and appreciate you being here. You'll hear more from me tomorrow.